Good morning, Madden community. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of Good Morning Madden. Crazy week, crazy content coming out today. So we're going to go ahead and go over that. We have a special guest in the studio. He's going to join us here shortly. I'm going to run through some announcements, but before I do, Z Farrell is coming in at the final minute to go ahead and do giveaways. What are we giving away? Or should we spoil the dump truck, or what should we do, Z Farrells?
Let's just give away an early bird, Bach. I'm
Okay.
disappointed that you guys didn't think I was going to show up today. I show up every day. I'm not S. Gibbs. Gilly EW is the winner right now.
Okay.
And what they're going to get first up is Sherman, Tyreek, and Young. That's the early bird special, Agent K. And
Okay.
then you can tell the fans what the other giveaways are coming up.
Got it. Awesome. Well, congratulations to you. You got the Masters from today, and you also got Steve Young. Make sure to get us your gamer tag, your PSN ID, and console. We'll be reaching out. One thing is that we will probably try to do those grants later on today, but we will get them out to you today. All right, so a couple of quick announcements. A reminder again that flashbacks, heavyweights, veterans, and signatures, this is the final week for that program. We do have some heavyweights today. We'll show you guys that later on after we go through the Super Bowl present players. Also, Rank Mutt Draft for those people that are looking for a way to go ahead and get double XP. There is an event going on right now. It started on Sunday, January the 26th, and it is going on till Saturday, February 1st. Around 10:30 a.m. it'll end. If you're looking to get double XP, looking for the Madden Challenge and kind of celebrating that, they are doing double XP in Ranked Mutt Draft. Series 5, I'm looking to go ahead and get a blog post out on Friday, more probably in the afternoon, that kind of highlights the LTD players from Series 5. Sorry, the LTD players that have come out that will be part of Series 5, also the power-up, so stay tuned for that. Series 5 is at a later date, just giving you a heads up. We want to get you that information, give you some time to figure out what you want to do with those Series 4 trophies. Also, solo battle rewards, we talked about this. For those individuals that played solo battles with the issue that happened earlier this week, those rewards went out late last night. Got confirmation from some players that was going out. It was really late last night, so keep an eye out there for that. Let's go ahead and talk about Madden Live. We got a lot of great stuff happening with Madden Live. Want to highlight our current schedule. Today is January the 29th. We're streaming right now. For those folks that don't know, Madden Live is a community-run program, which Gabby's doing, and we work with community members to go ahead and enable Twitch drops on our channel, drive traffic towards our channel, kind of get the community talking about the game, talking about the streamers. So we got iLogix HD coming on right after our stream from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. And then we have Mills later on tonight from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow we have Good Morning Madden with Digital Champion. And one note here, one great user is actually at the Madden Challenge. So he won't be streaming tomorrow night, but make sure to go ahead and tune into the Madden Challenge. The Madden Challenge, there's a lot of opportunity to get drops. You're able to go ahead and possibly get out of your Twitch drops that Hester or that 92 Deion Sanders. Here's the schedule starting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then going to the 31st and February 1st. Definitely go ahead and tune into that. One thing you also want to note, you want to watch these streams for 3 hours or more for the purpose of getting that Super Bowl Madden Challenge token, so that you can go ahead and get those. I think it's like an 88 to like a 93 pack, which is part of the Madden Challenge set. So a little note there, go ahead and check your missions. All that information is out there. But to get those Super Bowl tokens, you got to go ahead and do that. Also, this weekend, to kind of celebrate the Super Bowl, we do have a special edition of Madden Live. We'll make sure to go ahead and share this information out to you guys. If not, right now, we're going to leave it right here, clip it, share it with your friends. We do have a Super Bowl weekend. All these individuals that you see right here, Looney God, Fourth Quarter Gaming, J-Dub, Swan Games, Buffalo K, Rhino, Dr. Steinman, Digital Champion, DK Nice, Problem Right, C Ballin, Popular Stranger, MBL Network, Swain Games, and then Mills. These guys will have Twitch drops enabled on their channel. Also on Sunday, we're not going to stop on Saturday. We're going to go through Sunday, going into the Super Bowl, and some of those names that we talked about, they'll be there on Saturday. We'll also be doing it on Sunday. Check it out. It's a great way to go ahead and get Twitch drops. Really just a Twitch drops weekend when you really think about it across the board. You can get them from the Madden Challenge. You can get them from watching Madden Live and all that kind of great stuff. So that's that. Now we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to bring on our special guest. We're going to walk through the Super Bowl present players. We're going to walk through the heavyweights. And not just that, but we got something special coming out to you guys tomorrow that Jake is going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that you guys have been asking for, or a couple of things that we've seen out there. We'll talk about that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back here in about a minute or so. What's going on, guys? We are back. Jake, good to have you on the show.
Hey,
it's always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
So, guys, we're here. We're going to go ahead and run. So Jake Stein is going to take over Steve Farrell's spot, when we go ahead and talk about the Super Bowl player present items. And we're going to run through those. We're going to talk about some of these. Steve Farrell is here. We can't replace him, even though he got here 1 minute before the stream. But he's here, and that's what matters. Some people aren't here, right?
I would go on the record here and say that I was actually here 30 minutes before the stream, before you got here, when I saw you in the elevator when you were running late. I was here to set everything up and make sure all the content was good and locked. And then I had to go do my actual job, which I crushed. And now I'm back down here dropping giveaways like an absolute beast. You let me know what you want to give away. Jake Stein looks just like me. People won't be confused.
That's right.
We are good.
Right.
Show them the items. I want to see the items today.
So great stuff. Let's go ahead and walk through the items. We talked about NFC. We shared Richard Sherman yesterday in the NFC players. So here's a quick glance at kind of all the selection of the Super Bowl present players. Any notable players here, Jake, that you're kind of excited out of your team? I see Quan Alexander, former Buck.
Yeah, former Buck, big free agent signing for the Niners this year. Worked his way back from that pec injury that he had earlier this year. He said he used J.J. Watt as sort of his inspiration. He saw that J.J. was able to come back from his pec tear, and Quan felt like he could do the same. So, yeah, not only is he the highest OVR here, former Buck, super excited for him to be playing in his first Super Bowl.
Yeah, so for 49ers fans, I know they're super excited, as Super Bowl present players to kind of round out that team. So this is it's always that part of the year when Super Bowl happens that those fans are excited, especially an Ultimate Team, to kind of build out their theme team. Farrells, anything you want to say about this guy? This guy ran more than 200 rushing yards last.
He's a monster. He's a monster. What I would say about this is I'm actually shocked at the speed. I think it's amazing. This is a really, really solid item. For him to get 96 speed means the team took a lot of a deep look into this to get him what he needed to be good. He's pretty unique because he has 96 speed and 97 acceleration with 91 agility. That generally leads towards a trucking back. I know I mentioned this a lot. But he's an elusive back. So he's an elusive back with the lower agility, but he makes up for everything with the speed and the acceleration. We've had a couple backs like this back in the day. Interesting item. Very, very nice.
Hey, I'll only say his original was it was either a 78 or a 79, and I'll never forget the tweet. Someone tweeted at me and said, this guy hasn't got an upgrade. He actually had an 87 during the playoffs, but when I saw this, I saved that tweet. I'm going to go ahead and respond back to that guy and say, hey, he got his 96 today. So what do you think, Jake?
I mean, the next-gen stats for him speak for itself. I mean, super explosive, coming out of nowhere, cut by 6 or 7 teams. Pretty remarkable story.
All right.
And then here we got the DeForest Buckner here. What's the thing that jumps out to you right away? That finesse. He's an interior pass rusher, but he can get after the quarterback. An exceptional player on the field. And definitely, a case where you mentioned it, theme teams, 49ers, there's no secret. That's a pretty big theme team going into this year. A little bit of the rich getting richer because of these real-world occurrences, and they make them the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens here, but definitely a great opportunity to keep that Niners theme team rolling.
Awesome. And the next hero that we have right here is we have Richard Sherman. I think we did show Kyle. So Kyle was
Kyle
out there
Juszczyk, yep.
a little bit earlier. So
Don't ask me to spell it.
Yeah, so here we have the Master Richard Sherman. I have no words. 99 zone coverage. 98 press. 98 play rack. I got no words. That's it.
Stud. I mean, the thing that it's not on here that when we were checking it out earlier in the week, I believe it's 81 strength as well. Extremely exceptional for a corner. Somebody who, you're probably gonna have trouble getting off the line if he's matched up over you. You better be bringing that beat press to the table when you come up against this Richard Sherman.
Yeah, and one thing to note, you'll see in the back of this player item, it says that the 49ers win the Super Bowl. This item will receive 2 times 49ers team chemistry. So the team that wins, it's going to be the Masters and the Heroes that get 2 times their team chemistry. So that is enough for the NFC. Let's go ahead and talk about the AFC. Here are some of the items of the players. You got Daniel Sorensen. You got Damian Williams. You got Breland. Anything you want to mention right here, Z Farls?
Yeah, all I want to talk about is Sorensen. Like, all this guy does is make tackles. He made that special teams tackle. Yep. He had a big hit. He had an actual hit stick on somebody. So nobody loves some Sorensen more than I. Obviously, Damian Williams with the 93, but I got to shout out my man Sorensen.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to do a Farrellism, or that's how you say it. So, when he was landing those tackles, those people were pretty sore. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and look at some of these. Let's go ahead. These are some of the heroes. Jake, walk us through this guy.
Sammy Watkins. I mean, here you go, another explosive player. I mean, the Chiefs do not have a deficiency at speed. That is for sure. So yeah, Sammy, bringing a lot to the table. 90 plus at every route running ability. Pretty spectacular get here.
What I'm gonna say is that the more I think about this, you got items for Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, you got Mecole Hardman. You have Sammy Watkins and you have Tyreek Hill. Yeah, you're going to be passing the ball. So it's just crazy, just the amount of just wide receiver core that you have and speed on the field with the Chiefs. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next item. I love it. Right tackle or riot, right? So Z Farls, walk me through this one right here.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pass block specialist. If you're the Chiefs, you're going to pass the ball. So that's the scheme that's your team is ultimately lined up for. And Mitchell Schwartz does that very nice at right tackle.
All right.
Yeah, it really does feel like a real-life Ultimate Team in some regards. This team went after speed. Very easy to see that there was a clear plan in place of how they were going to assemble this team, what they want to do. They found the big arm with Mahomes. They were going to get the ball down the field to these speedy receivers. And yeah, you got offensive linemen like Mitchell Schwartz who can, give Mahomes that time that he needs to make those throws.
Awesome. All right, and we have Chris Jones. I see a lot of players out there. I know Z Farls brings up Chris Jones quite a bit. Walk us through this item right here.
Guy's a good ball player, man. He was our Team of the Year rush D tackle last season. You saw the Armstead with amazing finesse move from the Niners' perspective. That's a really unique item on the other side, on the other team. But for Chris Jones, he's a more traditional. He's stronger than Armstead. He's going to be a little bit better in the ground game, and then he still has 95 power moves and up to 87. So he's a little bit unheralded. He's getting a little more respect, but I'm a huge fan of this Chris Jones. He's been playing injured a little bit. He's got 87 acceleration at D tackle. If you're S. Gibbs, you can't stop the run. Once again, this is another guy along with Aaron Donald. You put out on that edge, and now you got 4 DTs with real beef to help you slow that down.
All right, and now the hero is Tyreek Hill. I have nothing to say. I think it speaks for itself. So
explosive guy.
Yeah.
Another receiver who's going to be able to get human joystick with those ratings. So yeah, like you said, enough said there.
Yeah, and then also we have another item coming out today, which is Eric Armstead. He is going to be your LTD. He will be in packs for a limited time. Again, with all this type of content, make sure to look for the in-game messaging. We will also message things out on our social channels at EA Sports_MUT once we verify that content is out there. But just keep an eye out for that. This item is available even in the reroll set, so we went ahead and talked about that recently as well. So just a heads up there to you guys. Next up, we got heavyweights. All right, we got us. Hey, what's up? We're going to go into our heavyweights. Like I mentioned, we have a couple of heavyweights today. The heavyweight program is ending this week. Whether it will be replaced with another program, that's to be discussed, and we'll share that information once we get more info on that. Kawan Short is coming in as a defensive tackle for the Panthers, and we got Kevin Zeitler. I know there's some Giants fans out there that just love their Giants, so they're pretty excited. They're definitely getting some nice player items recently, and I think they're going to be getting some nice player items as we go into the the MUT season. So it's great stuff.
Probably. I can see that happening.
All right. Now, we brought Jake on because there's a couple of things that we've been talking about that are coming to Madden Ultimate Team very soon. So more than likely tomorrow. We wanted to kind of walk through some of that stuff. We're going to show you guys some screens. We're going to walk through this. Jake's going to give us some context to all of that stuff. So first up, let's go and take a look at this screen right here. So, it's your typical play call screen, but I do see some differences where it says available in 4 plays. Can you walk me through what's coming tomorrow and how all this will work?
Yeah. So this is something that, when our next title update comes out, it's looking like it'll be tomorrow. This is some new functionality that Ultimate Team is going to be able to get our hands on. So this is actually going to be a little bit of a sneak preview of what the house rules for Friday or what they're preparing to look like. So there's a couple of cool things that I'm really, really excited for. We now have 2 different opportunities to sort of change the way that you interact with play call. The first one is called cooldowns, and the second one is limits. So with cooldowns, that's where you're looking at in this play called 95 Willie. This particular play is in that cooldown period. So what we did in this specific example is we have the cooldown set to 5 plays. So after you choose that play, it's going to be on cooldown and unselectable until you run 5 additional plays on offense, and then that play will open back up and be eligible to be called again.
Cool.
The other one, like I mentioned, was limits, and that's what PAY shot in this case looks like. You can see down here at HB ISO, it says it's at 2 left, and 95 Willie has 1 left. So in this particular configuration, we have the limits set to 2 total times. And when you call it, it is now locked for the rest of the game. So the amount of limits that you have dictate how many times per game you can call it, and then the cooldown just makes it so that you're not just able to call it back to back.
Very cool. Awesome. So thanks for walking us through that. Excited to kind of see that in the next house rules. I know you and your team over the holiday break were taking a lot of that feedback from the community and really do appreciate it. But really excited to kind of see this feature and see how players are going to interact with this.
Yeah, really excited to see how players are going to react. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of, it's going to disrupt the meta a little bit for sure. But give it a shot. Let us know what you think. Being able to have this type of control on our side is a pretty large milestone. I texted a former colleague, Colby Launchball, not too long ago, and I said, hey man, do you remember when we met however many years ago it was? And I said, man, I really want to get to a spot where we can run really quick, 3 5-minute online games, and then also be able to do some things with play call so people aren't able to just call the same 4 plays over and over. And to have that kind of all occur within a 12-month span is kind of surreal. So really excited, really anxious to hear everybody's feedback. I know that I will be out there playing house rules this Friday.
That's awesome. So no, I think it's great stuff at the end of the day, to be able to kind of look at this. You guys are taking these things, you're making changes, making modifications to kind of figure out what works best. And I think with house rules, it's something that's always evolving and learning where it lands and where it came from in the beginning when it was in beta going into this year. So let's go ahead and take a look at this other feature.
Well, I want to know what are you thinking over here? What are you thinking about this?
So the early feedback I have is I love that it's in house rules. I love that it's in Ultimate Team. I love that it's in kind of a developmental phase where you guys are trying it out, testing things out. I know that it will create a lot of conversation because when I was a game changer and giving feedback, this is something people requested, and then competitive players will say, well, we're still going to smash you because we know the full breadth of our playbooks. You guys say we only call 1 play, but it's not true. We know all these other ways. So I think as an overall game piece, it's a great conversation, but right now we're just talking about Ultimate Team, right? We're just talking about
just an Ultimate Team. It'll just be introduced through house rules for now. It's definitely kind of that slow roll approach. I would love. Perfect scenario for me would be that this is something that even players who might not be engaged in Ultimate Team are like, that's awesome. I really want that. Could that be something that is added to franchise or play wherever, right? Like this was not built in a way where it can only work inside of Ultimate Team, but with house rules. And where we are at in our development cycle, this was the place that kind of felt the most optimal to introduce that into Madden 20, rather than to kind of hold it back or do something else for another title. This was a great opportunity for us to kind of get that out there, get some early feedback, because there are going to be some things that we want to improve with it, but we feel like it's in a really good spot, and I'm definitely excited to hear. Let me know what you think about it. I'm really, really pumped about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Seriously, let us know your feedback. That's the only way that we can understand probably where some things may not be working, or where they are working and what you want to see more of. But definitely get that information over to Jake, myself. We'll be monitoring social, also our forums for all that information. Now, there's another feature that you are really excited about, which is Tom Brady going to the Chargers, or who is it, Nick? Dallas, the Cowboys. But no, walk us through this specific thing. We've talked about this in the past. Community members have asked for this feature for quite a while, and I know you've been really pushing hard to kind of bring into Madden Ultimate Team. Walk us through it.
Yeah, we have. This is one of those things that, again, we have features that remain in our backlog longer than we'd like them to. So this was something that's been on our radar for a while, but we were able to find the right time. Things were able to line up and able to bring it. So stop beating around the bush. What is it? So we are introducing a way for you to be able to customize the front art of your players.
Very cool.
This is something that's going to be kind of, for right now, primarily on power-ups. There's a world where maybe we break that from time to time, but we're thinking that this is a power-ups sort of additional benefit that you get there. And so with this example with Tom Brady that we're rolling through, it's showing you that you have all these different choices. With that power up, you're putting in a lot of additional items to kind of get there along the way. And the example that I always love to go to, and the thing that really fueled me, was last year. Again, kind of a little appropriate timing. Last year's Super Bowl, Keyshawn Johnson was one of our players, and he's in that Bucks, he's in that Super Bowl 37 gear, and I'm super pumped. And then his Ultimate Legend Jets comes out, and I was like, I'm not powering him up. I'm going to keep that art. Well, now this is the way where you get to do that. I could still go and choose that I'm going to keep that Super Bowl art. And then the other thing that we have up there is with our NFL 100 players is we have some of these premium illustrations that the NFL had made and was showcasing during the year. We're able to bring those and introduce those as separate pieces that you can go and acquire for training as sort of like additional, okay, here's some extra options that I can get with my art choices, which is pretty freaking cool. So really pumped about that. The other cool thing with the NFL 100 guys is, we have 15-ish guys that were announced in the NFL 100 but did not get NFL 100 players. They will still be getting this art option
really cool.
included
That's
in
awesome.
them. It'll be at whatever their highest upgrade is currently in their power, but wherever that's at will be that, okay, cool, like an autogram. Oh, cool, I want to put autograms NFL 100 art on the front. So pretty cool.
Awesome. So guys, thank you so much. Again, this is feedback from you guys, and like you said, some of the stuff that we hear from you guys gets in that backlog. You got to figure out when is the right time to be able to develop it and kind of get all those resources so that we can go ahead and make it happen. But it's great to see this. I know it's something that I know I've been asking for quite a while. It's great to see in the game. Just it's another element that you can customize your ultimate team at the end of the day.
For sure. And for those of you that might just be tuning in, this is something that is not in game right now. Kralo definitely given us a cool, unique opportunity to talk about this before it hits. I think with everybody's Super Bowl schedule, that's kind of driving a little bit of that, but that's something that's not in game today. When our next title update comes out, that is something that you will begin to see. We're definitely going to make sure that those NFL 100 guys are ready to go, and there's a good chance that we're going to have all the power-ups available in that sort of same spot. So
that's awesome.
Yep.
So, and speaking of that, Jake brought up about the Super Bowl schedule before we go into the giveaways. One of the things that we want to highlight is that we're not going to be in studio. However, we're still going to be doing the streams for Good Morning Madden Thursday and Friday, but we're going to be doing it with Mills. So definitely tune in to twitch.tv/EA Madden NFL. We'll be here, but Mills is going to be live streaming. He's going to go over the title update tomorrow with you guys. He's going to go over any kind of player items. I think we have LTD signatures, veterans coming out on LTD signatures tomorrow, veterans coming out on Friday. I think we also have like another item coming out on Friday. So definitely want to tune in for all of that. But yeah, I think that's it.
one thing we didn't talk about.
What'd I miss?
Predictors.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I know we got a lot today, which is great.
Did.
So predictors, we brought that back. It should be in game right now.
Yep.
Talk to us about predictors.
So predictors, pretty cool. This year, when you come in, I believe we're giving everybody one predictor token just for logging in. Then there are 14 additional ultimate challenges that you have to roll through. Playing through each of those gets you an additional predictor collectible. From there are, I think, 25 sets, and some of them you can repeat up to 3 times. But it's all kind of based off of, you're predicting what are some of these, unique things that are going to happen. Well, it looks like we might be trying to pull it up, which would be awesome. in this year's Super Bowl. So we have very basic things of like who's going to win the game. We have things that are potentially more unlikely to happen. So if Mostert or Williams scores the first touchdown, that's one that's going to provide you with a higher reward. And then the last one that we have, and this one is the only one that requires more than one of these Predictor collectibles. We're calling them, I believe it's a Chiefs all-in bundle and a 49ers all-in bundle. And essentially it's saying that you need all three things to happen, right? And if we can get to sets, we can pull up exactly what those three things are for each of the teams. But if all three of those things hit, it's going to be a bundle. It's like a 5x Super Bowl bundle. That's in the store.
Very cool.
So rather than coins, which the rest of them reward, the ones that where you need a couple things to kind of go your way, we'll just go down. Boom. We can just start going down. Even the coin toss. Choose the first team that's going to score. MVP players, first touchdowns. This one here is essentially anybody other than the four guys previously mentioned score the first touchdown. That's how that one hits. We have some stat-based ones.
Quite a lot.
Yards, there's definitely a lot. And like I said, here's an example of a few of these where you can do this one 3 times. So if you're locked in that Jimmy G is definitely throwing for more than 240 yards, yeah, well, that sounds like that's not one for Farrell. So here's these two all-in bundles. So with the Chiefs, you need them to win by 13, score 40, and hold the Niners under 137 yards. If all three of those things hit, and you have this set completed by Sunday at, I believe, 2 p.m. on Sunday, that's how you get your 5X Super Bowl fantasy bundle. With the Niners, win by 13, score at least 35, and hold Mahomes under 305. That's something that interests you if you want to go and put 3 of your potential 15 collectibles into this set. That is your reward. That
is a biscuit. And that's why they say you got to risk it for the biscuit. So you're definitely putting, there's a lot of risk right there, but if it pays out, it's a nice little payout right there in that reward. So great stuff. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jake, for reminding us about that. What we're going to do is we're going to do some giveaways real quick. We're going to go ahead and roll. The first giveaway that we're going to do is